Hi, I'm EllaAradia and welcome to your November 2025 Psychic Tarot reading. This reading is for my Leo fire signs, where we'll be exploring the overall energies and themes for the month ahead, as well as taking a deeper dive into how these might be playing out for you in your life. This is a general reading. It's going to resonate a little bit differently for all of you, but what I do find is there's always a shared theme that runs through the collective of all of you Leo signs. So take what feels aligned to you and just leave the rest. And before we jump in, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you who are supporting my channel by liking and subscribing. So if you enjoyed this reading and you haven't already done that, please do. It helps the channel out a lot. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and then you can get notified when the next videos are up. So Leo, with all of that said, let's jump in. So I always like to tune into the energies first, Leo, before I start pulling cards, just to see what comes through. I keep getting shown the image of somebody walking away from something and you walking away from something or somebody or a phase in your life. And I feel like you are in some kind of moment here, Leo, around re-evaluating your life. It's some kind of reset moment that I'm feeling. So with your overall energies, the Five of Pentacles, this is exactly what I was just seeing, what was just coming through there. So walking away from something, for some of you it may have been something that you felt you had to walk away from or leave behind. It's a card often of instability and change. But there's also the energies of, moving forwards with worth and value. So whatever it is that you're having to let go of has fallen through, or whatever it is you're walking away from, it's about moving forwards, in a more whole and complete and abundant energy in yourself. Because that's what I feel, these themes are for this month around re-evaluating, what is working for you and what isn't. It's an opportunity to really have a look at, where your energies are going here and into what, into who. And this moment of a chance to use, whatever change this is, whatever instability this is, as a moment to recalibrate and reset, move forward in a better way. And whatever this is, I do feel like there's a little bit of sadness here. I'm feeling some emotional pain around this for some of you. So what lies in your recent past? The Eight of Cups. Walking away from something. Could also be somebody leaving your life here, Leo, as well. It's a card of, leaving behind perhaps something which was no longer emotionally fulfilling for you, and moving on to a place of healing, to something more, to something better for you. So this could be you moving on here, Leo, or it could be somebody that has, recently left your life. It's an emotional departure of some kind. And with your current energies, the Four of Swords, that's that reset that I was talking about. Taking a pause and really using this moment to, like I said, reevaluate, reassess. This is a card of taking some time out. It's about healing. It's about regaining your energy, bringing your power back to yourself. perhaps after a difficult time of some sort, some kind of loss. And it's a card of healing, rejuvenating, and really getting in touch with your true feelings and what you really want moving forward. So this is really an opportunity to just take a step back and really listen to your heart. You know, there's no rush moving forwards because you need to make sure that you move forward in the right way here, Leo. Your feelings towards your situation, feeling stuck. And, you know, the Eight of Swords often represents just being stuck in our thoughts. Sometimes stuck in, you know, negative limiting beliefs that we might be holding about ourselves, the situation, or life in general. But it's important to remember, you know, whatever that is, whatever you're sort of running around, whatever negative beliefs or stories you're running around in your mind right now, you know, all of that can be changed. And the invitation of this card is what I'm talking about here. It's about tuning in to what your heart is saying in all of this, getting out of the mind a little bit and more into your heart, because your heart always knows the answers. It's just, you know, the challenge is sometimes listening to the heart, because we do have to be, you know, very brutally honest with what the heart is telling us. I get the sense for many of you this is someone that has left your life. But I feel also if you were to really tune into this and listen to your heart and to that inner knowing, there is also something about, you know, that connection that wasn't really fulfilling your needs in some way, Leo. So what lies in your challenge, the 10 of Wands, carrying burdens, responsibilities, obligations, coming to the completion of something, but something that has, you know, really started to feel very heavy. And the challenge, I feel, is actually allowing that to complete. The challenge is about letting go of, you know, something that perhaps somebody that you have, you know, a lot of history with here, you've invested a lot in this person, but at the same time, you know, it is something which, you know, many of you are feeling tired from. It's something you're carrying. But of course there's those emotional connections and attachments, and the challenge is about, I feel, letting go of something that perhaps has actually really come to an end here. With your hidden influence, the Wheel of Fortune, your destiny in motion, Leo. That's the way I always look at this card. You know, this is about beginnings, endings, but it's also about karmic cycles. And to me, whenever I see the Wheel of Fortune, you know, it's divine timings and orchestration. So it's the universe coming in and shifting people, places, situations to set you on a different path. And the important thing to remember about the Wheel of Fortune is that whatever is happening for you, it is for you. You know, it is for your highest good in some way. And it may well be that, you know, whatever it is completing at the moment, you know, this may have been a karmic cycle, and, you know, the soul lessons are perhaps completed, and it is time for you to perhaps take a different path here, Leo. And in your advice, the Moon, this represents very often the subconscious world, the healing of, you know, any negative limiting beliefs, you know, that this Eight of Swords represents. Seeing things in perhaps a different perspective, but also tapping into your intuition at this time and using this as your guide moving forwards. So there's a big invitation here to really listen to your intuition, to listen to your heart, and use that to really navigate this situation, even if, you know, with the energies of the moon here, it's not fully clear just yet. Just trust that, you know, your heart will guide your next steps for you. And that, like I said with the Wheel of Fortune here, whatever is happening, it is for your highest good. And what lies in your outcome, we have the Nine of Cups. And this is about emotional fulfillment and coming to a point in your life where you are okay on your own. You are okay in your own company. You know, it's all about, you know, this emotional mastery and balance and feeling whole and complete inside of yourself. And that's a really important point to get to. It doesn't mean giving up on, you know, love and wanting a life partner. But in order to really attract the kind of person that we want, you know, we have to get to that place of wholeness and completeness inside of ourselves. You know, with that self-love, the worth, the value, which brings me back to that Five of Pentacles as perhaps the soul lessons here for you, Leo. And then once you are vibrating, you know, at that frequency, that's when you can actually attract in somebody who can love you in the way that you deserve and in the way that you want. So trust the process here, Leo. You know, it is unfolding for you, you know, and there is a higher purpose to all of this. So I'm going to leave it there. So if this reading resonated, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, moving forwards, no matter what comes through in a reading, you know, always trust what feels right for you. So thanks so much for being here, Leo, and I wish you a great month ahead.